Hey, what's up? Thanks for clicking. Outlander here. Bringing you a Call of Duty Black Ops video. Running on Discovery here, playing some Team Deathmatch. Rolling with the Galil with the suppressor and some dual mags on it. This was during double XP weekend, another double XP game. Slightly campy, whatever. I'm not corner camping or anything, but I do hold it down in this room a good bit. It is COD. It's, I'm going for kill streaks, so, you know, trying to not die, so don't hate on me. But I got a request to chat a little bit about the news or the media from a YouTuber out there, so I figured I'd have some interesting stuff to say about it. So I figured I'd take him up on it, and cheer. I gotta admit, I hardly watch the news anymore. The most I see normally is when I'm waiting in line at the bank and they have like a TV screen with CNN or some shit. I do glance at the newspaper occasionally, local news and whatever. But, I mean, I guess it's just the format to it is just kind of boring. It just, I mean, I'm interested in the worldly events. I want to know what's going on and everything, but it's just, I mean, if anything really important's going on, I'll hear about it, local news, or just from, you know, people I know. So, which brings me to my next point, where I mean, it's a fairly negative a lot of the time. The news is. So, trying to pick up on the few, you know, big stories that matter, that I would care about. You know, you're subjected to a bunch of crap, shock value, negative shit, which I mean, that's what gets them the ratings. That's what people want to see. So, I guess you can't really fault them on that note. So, I don't want to cloud and bog down my brain with negative waves, you know. So I stay away from it for the most part. And then, you know, after all is said and done, you're always subjected to the bias factor of the particular network you're watching or whatever you're reading or whatever. As everyone knows, you know, there's always somebody behind it. There's always some kind of money, or, well, I mean, not always, but, you know, there could be, at any given time, there could be some money or influence behind why a certain story gets airtime over a different one. I mean, there's always some kind of trouble going on in the world, so, I mean, be it, like, the Middle East, or, you know, South America, wherever, I mean, anywhere, you know, just name a country, but they want to jack up oil prices, they start talking about, you know, shit going on in the Middle East, where we get our oil from, or just whatever. So then, I mean, not all the time, but like I said, you never know what's really important, you know, and what you're seeing just because somebody wants you to see it, so because it affects something else, money or something like that. But I've seen some really interesting footage, actually. There's some videos on the internet you can find if you want to look into it, of these secondary feeds that satellite users used to be able to pick up on their satellites. I don't know if you still can, but the guy I was watching, he had a whole, like, hour and a half of footage. I just kind of flipped through it looking at certain things, but he had some really cool stuff. It would pick up, it's like when you have satellite, they're projecting the TV out to you, but I guess if you tweak it a little bit, you can pick up, like, the commercial breaks and just off-air stuff. As long as, like, the camera and the mics were focused on these people, he was able to see, like, some pretty cool stuff. And like I said, this was, or I don't know if I said it already, but this was kind of back a few years ago, like in the 90s, when Clinton and Bush were going at it for the presidency, and they were appearing on Larry King a lot, I guess. He was doing, like, a lot of political debating on his show, and it was like the thing not users, you know, just like citizens of the U.S. could call in and ask the people questions. It was like this cool, great thing. They thought it didn't last, I guess, but it was going on for a while, and there was one funny thing was a commercial break between Larry King he was talking to George Bush, and Larry King is like, you know, isn't it crazy? TV, cable nowadays, people can see us all over the world. And Bush is kind of like, he like nods, he's not really looking, he's just like, yeah, yeah. Do you think Saddam Hussein is watching this very minute? I was like, Jesus, man. But, yeah, needless to say, there was definitely some interesting little tidbits in there. I mean, commercial breaks when people don't know that, you know, they're... right there in the video, theater mode, somebody must have left game and theater mode chops it up, so that's what happened right there. But, yeah, when these people don't know they're being filmed, and it's, well, some people you could tell they knew and some people didn't know about it. Like at one point, Al Gore, his wife was on there, and, some chick off camera goes, hey, you know, they said you look good in, I forget what city she said. It wasn't Washington, but it might as well have been. She was like, you know, they say you look good in Washington. And she's like, oh, they're watching? And she's like, yeah, you know, they watch, everything. It's like, because, like Clinton, he definitely knew about it, and he, I mean, I don't know, I've heard he had, like, people that were watching, like, these feeds, you know, not every single feed, but if it was like a feed, somebody was filming something on satellite, you know, George Bush, somebody he was running against, they would pay attention to that. Like, I heard there was a commercial that was gonna go, that was kind of like detrimental to Clinton, and they were able to respond really quick because they saw the commercial before it actually was released to the public, and they were able to get their response, like, really quick. It was so... Clinton, he knew about it. He embraced it. He did a lot of satellite things. They would sit in a room and just do the same spiel to all these different cities, talk to a bunch of people in one sitting. And this guy, everybody had like a public relations coach that you would see during the commercial breaks. They would sip some water and then somebody would come up, especially after, like, if they got asked a tough question, you know, on a controversial subject, and they'd be like, hey, you know, you don't have to answer that. They would do what they called spinning, put spin on it. You would hear them talk about that. It's the art of turning a question around. Somebody could ask you a question about something, and you'll see politicians do this all the time. They'll just start talking, and they don't even answer your question, but they just start, you know, just talking about something they want to talk about without ever... You know, it's like a poker face type deal. They just, I don't know, it's just the art of just not answering the question, but not making yourself seem like you're squirming in the chair all uncomfortable. You know, just talk about whatever you want to. So the media definitely, they're out there, they're manipulating a little bit. You gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Don't hate it, but take it with some salt, man. OutlanderGG, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Stop by the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.